Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Fitz, your personal tour guide. Welcome to episode number 13 of my review of Warren Hill's Cancun Jazz Festival. Man, can't believe we're up to day 5 already. This is the last full day of the festival. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. And again, it's t-shirt day, y'all. So on the last full day of the festival, an announcement went out on day 4, that Saturday, that the guests, you're encouraged to wear your Cancun Jazz Festival t-shirt. So if you saw my check-in video, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to have a card up here. Go check that out, because in that video, I went into detail about whenever you check in to the festival. In your check-in, you go to, there's a booth, there's an area, a closet, hallway there in the convention center to pick up your t-shirt. If you remember in your dashboard, you gave your t-shirt size, and then you go pick it up when you get there. So everybody was to, if you wanted to, wear your t-shirt on that last full day at the conference. Now, me and my wife decided not to wear our shirt on that day. We wore ours on the trip home. And speaking of the return trip, whenever you ride, once the conference ends and it's time to go, on this day, you want to make sure you fully understand the check-out process. They're going to start making announcements and telling you what to do. And I'm going to go into more detail in the next video. So the next video is going to be fully dedicated to just talking about the checkout process. But you want to make sure that you understand, because there is a certain procedure and protocols that you have to follow in order to check out of the festival. But that's in the next video. So on this last day, very similar sort of events, kind of winding down a little bit. You can see people not hanging out quite a bit. People probably exhausted, up to 1 o'clock in the morning at some of these shows or whatever, just constantly coming and going. So you're starting to see a little fewer people out and about, maybe doing some last minute shopping at one of the shops there, or taking advantage of a massage or something, or just hanging out at the pool. But once again, we have featured artists. I think his name was Jay Gore. He was a guitarist. And so he was at the Heaven Lobbies when I went to go check him out. So I'm sure they may have had other featured artists maybe at the pool as well. And one note I want to say about the featured artists that played at the Heaven Lobby in the Hacienda. I didn't go to the pool because the pool was crowded, so I didn't go to the pool to listen to anyone play. So I only went to the lobby areas. And I do want to say one thing. There's a couple things that kind of happened. So I'm not going to name names or call anybody out, but we were at the Hacienda lobby, and I think the set started at about, I want to say 11 a.m. I believe. So I get there on time, and I'm waiting around, and 10 after, 15 after, 25 after, and then finally the MC came and said that the artist who was supposed to be there forgot. And so he comes running in with his stuff and getting his gear set up. So he was probably about a good 40 minutes late to his particular session there. So that was one thing, because we were wondering, well, did it get canceled? I'm looking at my little pamphlet and said, did I get the time wrong? No, he just forgot or didn't know he was supposed to be there. There was another occasion, same thing. It was over in the Heaven Lobby, and it wasn't an issue of showing up on time. The featured artist there showed up on time, but man, he looked like he just woke up. And it came across like this was the last place he wanted to be. I mean, his whole body language is like, man, I want to go back to bed. And so not a very encouraging look. You want your artist to be, happy to be there to help us enjoy the show and, be energetic, but it wasn't nothing like that. But I think once he got to playing, it got started up. He got into his set, and everything was cool. So just a couple observations about that. I know some of these artists are playing with some of the featured artists, so they may be up late. I mean, who knows how long they're up, particularly some of those late shows. So totally get it, but I thought it was kind of interesting to note. So if they show up late or they look like they just wiping the sleep out of their eyes, yeah. And we had two big acts over on the Epic stage over in the convention center. First of all, we had a huge groove, and of course he is a jazz favorite, very, very popular saxophonist, musical artist, musician, just a fantastic artist. Love his music. He is really good, and he put on a fantastic show. So much so that you know how when the set ends or the session ends, the crowd normally applauds, and then the artist comes back out for an encore. People were on their feet, just cheering and clapping. And so Warren Hill comes out, because Warren Hill is kind of emceeing, I think, so the shows at this point. And he's on stage, and it looks like he doesn't know what to do. It's like, do we bring you back out, or do we go on to the next act? Because both artists, so it was Huge Groove and Charlie Wilson, and both were on the Epic stage. So it wasn't like we went from one place to another for the evening shows. It was just one stage. And so Warren Hill, I think he's looking around. So eventually what happened was Huge had performed all of his rehearsed music. So, these little encores are all planned, right? They already have a song prepared for an encore if they have one. I went to a show one time where the artist didn't come back out. Even we were cheering and there was no encore. But most time there is an encore performance, and those are all planned. So there's not like they caught the artist off by surprise. But Huge had performed everything that he had rehearsed, and so he wasn't going to come back out. Plus, Charlie Wilson was up next, and so we had to do a set change, right? A stage change. So we had to move all of Huge's band equipment and your sound and all of that, and then you had to get set up for Charlie Wilson, who was on after that. So he didn't get a chance to come back out, but it was a really, really fantastic show. And now I have seen Charlie Wilson numerous times, so my wife's a huge Charlie Wilson fan. Also, I don't know if I told this story, I may have in one of the very first episodes, but that's actually how we found out about the Cancun Jazz Festival. My wife was wondering, we hadn't seen Charlie Wilson in a while, and I said, look, I don't want to see Charlie Wilson again in concert. I already seen him twice. I think she had been 3 times. I said, look, I don't care to see another Charlie Wilson concert. And my wife, as a joke, started looking online. Well, I want to see where he's playing at, right? It is all kind of fun. We're laughing about it. And she found out that he was going to be at this Warren Hill Cancun Jazz Festival. So that's how we found out about it. So if you ever wonder why some of these R&B artists are on the lineup for these jazz festivals, because every time you go to a jazz festival, a lot of time there's R&B there. Sometimes there's hip hop artists there. It's because those names draw, you get more eyes looking at your event. And so it's about attraction and getting more people to want to come. So that's how we found out about the current Cancun Jazz Festival in the first place. Just kind of a joke. My wife looking up where Charlie Wilson was going to perform at. It was going to be close to our area. And so we looked out the festival. We checked it out. I love jazz music, and she does too. But that's how we found out, and that's how we booked. And like I said, one of the most incredible times we've had in terms of us, taking a trip together. It was just awesome. So, of course, Charlie Wilson comes out, and his show is a sing-along too. He does all the classics, all the favorites, and as well as mixing in some of his newer music. As well, he has a little set. He goes to church, has a little gospel scene, and testifying about what God has done in his life and delivering him from drugs and homelessness and all this kind of stuff. So that's always a very inspiring session as well. So love Charlie Wilson. Does a great show. Just haven't seen him enough, but anyway, but this crowd loved him. I mean, he had such a great response from the crowd. I think you just set things up nicely. There was just a buzz in the room. And so by the time he came out, this crowd was hyped and ready to go. They were on their feet. Everybody was singing, all the favorite songs. And so it was just a great time. And so that was it for the final day. So now, of course, things are coming to an end, and we got to get ready to come back home. So once again, in the next video, very key video, because we're going to go over the checkout process. Also, I think I've got a clip here I'm going to show you of Jay Gore when he performed over in the Heaven lobby. So this is Fitz. Hope you guys are doing well. I know some of you are getting ready to take your trip to Cabo. Man, I hope you have a wonderful time. I know you will. Wish I was going with you. So safe travels to all you who are going there. Hit me up down in the comments below. Send me a little message here on YouTube and let me know how your trip went. Well, this is Fitz, and I'll see you in the next video.